Okay, so we're gonna continue the video. I might have to crop these two together. I don't know how editing works on YouTube, or if I even need to edit it. So I'll just restart this again. Got a Kia 2017 for my model, but to my understanding, I think it's the 15 or 16 of the Kia Sedona, 2016 or 2015 model, up to the 2020. That'll support this same configuration. I bought a used right window or right side mirror, I think it's the right phrasing that they use, of this because mine took some damage. You can see here it cracked, and there's actually a bit of a skirting here, or skid mark, whatever you want to call that, from when mine actually got snipped while I was driving, and it broke this whole motor. I was actually able to open the thing up by myself, but I did it the wrong damn way, and actually snapped the mirror on the other side. I'm not going to waste the time to flip it over and show all of that, but it inspired me to open it up, resolder some things, and actually got the blind spot detection working again on this. But what I want to do now is just replace the whole mirror on the side. I purchased one through eBay, and that company decided to be slick and told me that that mirror had blind spot detection on it. It was the exact one pictured in the illustrations, but when I received it, it did not have that. The mirror was just actually a regular baseline Kia Sedona with no blind spot detection. So that first, dream idea of just smack the old one out and smack the new one in place has been a pipe dream seemingly. I don't know why I can't really find a good match of this damn car. I guess it's not very common for people to probably be fixing this thing up themselves. But mine, as you can see here, it might be a little easier to kind of illustrate. Hey, look, I can just pop things right down in there after it took damage. So I was going to take it up to the dealership, but they want $1,500 just to replace this damn thing. And I can do this myself. It's really not that hard. So hopefully this inspires you if you have a Kia Sedona or other Kias, because they may all assemble the same way. I kept finding other people. There's a gentleman, I believe, with a Kia Veloster, or I'm sorry, that's a Hyundai Veloster, that was showing how to do this window replacement. I think he even showed how to rebuild the entire motor, the assembly and things, which I don't think is going to be of use to me here. I don't even really understand completely how this thing holds in place at any point. Like I said, mine got slapped, so I'm not really worrying about trying to get that all working without having to go in and buy every single piece. It's cheaper to just buy this thing assembled. It was about $300 or so roughly for mine, but the dealership wants about $1,500 for it new, and I don't really care. I just took one from a junkyard. I walked around a junkyard out here that had them, but they were all that base model of the Kia, or some just didn't even have the right mirror, which seems to be common, I guess, for people, passenger side mirrors, which mine, I didn't hit anything, just a storm passed out here and slapped this thing off, and it closed up and it would not open back up. It also actually shorted my window on the driver's side, so I couldn't roll it up or down because of an electrical shortage that happened inside of here. I was able to fix that up and get the window working again, but now I need a functional side mirror. So what I'm going to do, just maybe again to illustrate this point, hopefully this will be of use to somebody, maybe one person out there, to save you some money. I'm going to try to get this cap taken off. This will also help people to see how to actually replace the front mirror. I guess I will take a second to spin this. It's not as hard now, this thing is broken. So I'm going to try and get this cap taken off so that we can get to the mirror here. And this will help you to understand why I made the mistake of breaking this mirror, because you're actually supposed to take it off from the back side of the device. Now, I don't know if I'm going to bother with replacing the entire mirror, but at least this should take you to getting inside of here to start that mirror replacement. Now, a lot of companies that sell replacement mirrors actually just place them on the front and use stickers to just replace the face of the mirror rather than the entire enclosure, as we see here, or the entire mirror itself, which would be to take this whole thing out, this glass here, and then replace it. But I'm not going to do that. Again, just want to get you on the right track here. So hopefully this will be of use. I'll find a good name hopefully for this video. I'm just saying, hey, it's a Kia or Hyundai right or mirror replacement. So we'll get started. Now here's the thing, I don't know that I have all the right tools to do this. I'm not a mechanic, I am a tech guy who just has some buddies in this place, in space. And so I'm gonna try and find any little nook or cranny that I can just to get started and see if we can pop it out from there. Now that I have that cap from the other device, I have an idea of where the base plates and things are at now that it's been opened, or I've seen an open unit. So I'm gonna kind of try to work around that. There we go. So I'm just using a screwdriver here because this is the thinnest piece that I have. If you had something like an actual correct, good in good condition shape, this is like a pry tool out of plastic. I also have one out of metal as well, which I have these histories for being an electric guy or electric nerd, techie nerd, of working for cars. So usually you put these in to pry out dashboards and things. And I'll probably end up using this, actually, now I'm looking at it, but I don't want to break anything because this is metal. This plastic I have here, this thing is ancient and it's been sitting out in the hot desert sun because I am in the Southwest. So this has unfortunately taken some bad chips and cracks over the time. So I don't want to be using anything that's too thick. So I'm just going to start with the thinnest piece that I have. I recommend you kind of do the same. So I'm just going to very gently, so gently, because this is just plastic. And this one actually, again, did not seemingly break the cap, but pieces are not working in here. So I'm gonna slowly just kind of twist and turn. And so, you know, if you have the 90-degree angle, and I'm not super familiar with how to record on this thing, I am using my watch to try to navigate some stuff here, so pardon if it's not perfect, but I'm gonna try to turn the blade flat and then just kind of give it like a little 45-degree turn. We're kind of working towards 90 from this spot. And see, we can kind of hear a little bit of grinding. When I hear that sound, I let go. And this at least gives us an edge to start off with. I don't really want to turn this thing too much for the sake of the camera. And again, if anything, actually it can break. So it's hard to really see the seam up here, again, from where I'm working. I should have maybe grabbed the other mirrors, but there actually is a seam starting here along this top black edge. So I'm sure once you start to kind of work around, especially if you have no history in this stuff like I didn't, you know, guitar playing is really my background, you'll see that this seam starts here. So work around this edge. All the black plastics, now obviously depending on the color of your car, if you had a black Kia and you had a black cap, it might be a little bit hard to see, but these are actually two different pieces. And again, I'll use this cap that they gave me here maybe to kind of illustrate this point a bit better. Maybe that'll work, but I have to move stuff. Try to keep this safe, good cap that we know should fit, the one from eBay. Sorry, let me repeat that. So try to keep this good, safe cap here. Oh, I got a frame here. So keeping this good, safe cap, new, fresh one out of the frame here, and keeping this one wrapped in bubble wrap so that these little pieces of plastic underneath don't break very easily, because the one that they sent me, the actual new window unit, is actually got some cracked plastic. So I'm trying to be very precautious with this. So what you'll see, and again, thank you, phone, for your notification. All right, so on here you'll see again this change of plastic happens pretty easily in frame here. So what I'm trying to do is separate that from this little frame of black right here, this little black ring, and I'm trying to do my best here again. This little black piece, I want to get that separated and replace this. All right, so I'm gonna keep working my way around. Appreciate the patience. Again, when you're working this, take your time. Do not rush, unless you want to pay the big guys. And maybe there's a proper tool name for this. If somebody wants to put that in the comments, feel free. And see, this is why I didn't want to put this on this angle here, to be honest. So as we can see here, ooh, look at that. Getting a little bit more plastic in here. And if this angle is as good as I hope, now I don't really want to adjust this camera, I won't lie. Again, I'm not a YouTuber. Jeez, now I'm getting don't mind it, whatever. We all live, we're humans. But there is some plastic actually broken in here, and I'll try and bring this up to the camera. We can see, I've been as light as possible, so there's no way in hell I can see that I did all of that with this little piece here. But I'm gonna try to wiggle around. I think I'm actually gonna switch over to plastic on this, because that's a pattern I actually don't see on the existing cap that we know is not broken. It shouldn't be broken. Because if we match, maybe I will just keep this thing on grab here. So if I match the direction of this, oh, I stand corrected. There is a piece right there, a little pry hole. So I'm gonna try and, yep, it does fit there. Hopefully this all illustrates well. So there is a little flat piece right in here. Let's see what we can do to get that to show up well. It's a little tough. There are pieces of plastic here and here, almost little pockets, if you will, that they kind of give specifically for this purpose. There's one on the left and on the right, and I'm gonna try to get each one of those in. And I'll try my best here. I don't want to push this out of frame too bad, but right here again, it's a little tough. I'm sorry for the camera angles, guys. If this is really useful video content, shoot me a message and I'll try to do my best. I'm gonna shoot some pictures here while I've got the camera in this area, because I'm not gonna put this gray cap on at any point, hopefully, the one that's not painted. So there's actually 3 little areas when we stand the thing up in the same angle. Those angles should be pretty much right. Oh, man, no easy way to get this in frame. All right, but the angles should be roughly here, here, and on these sides here, left and right side. If you were looking at the face of the mirror, then basically, yeah, that kind of thing. There's not really an easy way to reference this. I wish there was a good guidebook out there. Oh well. I think, again, I'm being super cautious here. I don't want this damn thing to break. If you had this happen, I'm sure you'll have similar feelings. So I'm gonna work around here. Let's see what we get. So, real gentle. Because the thing I don't know about is if there's anything past just the cap that maybe is grabbing on or latching. So nothing really there. Great. And so my plastic pry, let's see where I'm at. I'm not in frame anymore. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Well, camera angles are a little reversed. This is why I'm not a YouTube star, I guess, but let's see. Get this. There we go. Cool. So in here, this angle seems to be the hardest one to grab. If I can maybe turn the camera a bit. I think that's plenty. So this angle right here is where it's not really opening up at all. I'm gonna try again, see if I can get that to come with just the plastic. I'm sorry, with the flathead screwdriver here. See if I can pry it open. The 2 pockets I know. Get a little bit more space. And then so this one on the left here, once you start to get it kind of widening up a little bit, I'm sure you'll see it. I'm gonna place this into one of these pockets I know. Hopefully all this is seen. Taking that orange pry tool that I have. Gonna keep it in where I know we have a little bit of space. Hopefully this is all staying in frame here. It is difficult to work and record. I give people credit. Let's work from the edge here. And again, keeping in mind that really all we're trying to do is really just pop this thing out. So I might be covering things up now. I do apologize, but I want to show here now I got a second. So if you look here, hands free off of this, that pry tool is actually sitting. And I'm going to try to do my best to get that. It is a longer piece than we probably have as far as frame goes, to show that that is inside of the actual mirror now. And I'm going to use that as my point of leverage, hopefully, and the further you put it down in there, the better it should hold, because the tool gets thicker. And now I'm going to try to keep working down the line here to get to this next clip. And again, really, really slow. Take your time. First click, that was not from me. Right as I go for the pry, I heard that. So we should probably see the tool fall out in a minute here. Hopefully this just comes out with no real, like, I don't want to snap anything inside of this damn thing. I've already had that happen on the front. And technically the back, I guess. All right, so here we go. Now I'm gonna check. This does not look like it's in frame at all. So I'm going to adjust a bit. Man, I probably have to flip my angle. But basically the left side of the mirror, my hand is covering the area I'm trying to get to. Let's see what happens if we push it. There we go. Great. So this area right here is where I'm trying to get into. And again, I want to be real gentle because I don't know what's holding it at this point. And Again, hard to see in frame, but I'm not holding that tool any longer. Both hands are here. I'm gonna try to slowly pry around where I placed that. Just really gentle and see where it's actually latching. I'm gonna keep working my way around the outer side of the mirror. Again, just slowly twisting the tool. Oh, that didn't sound good. And you might have heard the dogs are barking from that one. That's probably not a good snap. Which only gets me wondering further and further, how is this damn thing assembled? Kia did not mean for this thing to be taken apart. So now I'm actually switching up. I'm gonna do from the bottom here of the face because that edge did not sound good. Hopefully nothing has been broken. Maybe I should not have been twisting here. And like I said, this car piece here is essentially donezo, so I don't really see a huge flaw in this if this breaks, but I really don't want that to happen. If I can snap this onto the new working motor and not have to go get my other one painted up, that would, there we go. Now I'm actually switching over to my hands because I didn't like how that first snap happened. Again, super gentle. This is something that's hard to explain. I can't tell you, hey, be as gentle as you are if you're the Hulk. But still just kind of trying to work my way around here. And I can say now pretty much the most of the cap is off except this bottom corner here, which I'll lay this flat again. Let's see what we can do here with this. So now I'm gonna come from the other side here again. Now that it's flattened, I'm gonna try and bring it back into frame again. Kind of going back along this front light. Try to push this first before I just start prying. And I think this pry tool is gonna be too thick for this front edge because it is almost sitting flush, especially in this corner here, which is where I think we need to really pry. So I'm gonna take the flathead, the tiny flathead, and this is just a bit I put on here just to be clear about that. It's a tiny little, about the thinnest one I could find. I'm not loving how this feels right now. I feel like I'm about to hear a snap in a second, and certainly hoping that these are all good snaps. Because as you'll see here, these, they just kind of press in. They don't really have a way of like coming out. Like I almost wish there was like a suction cup I could grab the whole damn thing and pull it out, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense since these are press-ins. So how do you pull out a press-in essentially? And this is what I need. Maybe there's some kind of tool that Kia makes, but it seems like for me I'm just gonna have to take a risk here and pop this bad boy out. And I think this is the same edge, now I'm looking at it, that the company that sold me it, there was a flaw in the one that they sent me. So now I don't really feel like getting up and moving things around, but they actually, I don't even have to do that. Yeah, I can reach it. So in the new unit that they sent me, this is what I recorded already, they sent me a unit that already has a broken clip right here. And let's see, I don't know if that's gonna show up in frame correctly. Yeah, it does. Great. So this clip is what I'm thinking I'm stuck at right now. So this inner corner seems to be like when you go to replace the cap, the hardest piece to do. And I'm thinking that that's because how do you pull out a clip? How do you get your stuff out of there? It doesn't seem very apparent. So I'm essentially doing the same thing right now and hoping mine doesn't break. And I think the only real way to do it is to just kind of get right on the spot and pry up, which if I'm kind of going by the distance, it should be like right here. And then hope that that does not get snatched by the piece of plastic that you're pulling out of there. Yeah, see, that is grabbing there, man. I don't know how Kia expects you to do this. I'm gonna have to probably do it with two hands. I'm gonna press the plastic as I pull this up. So it's gonna be kind of a two-step process here. Let's give it a chance. Wish me luck. It's annoying because I can almost see that clip area, but it's almost there. It almost ain't good enough to not break it. So I'm just gonna be real gentle, try a few times at it. It almost seems like this bit is kind of not big enough now. So thankfully I did grab just one more flat head, a little bit more flush. The head's a little bit thicker, but this should be able to slide down in there a little bit better. Damn it, that sounds like the brake I'm talking about. I really was not doing anything to get that. So it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm kind of trying to do like a three-dimensional move right now. Ooh, please don't break. Oh, I might got it. Let's see. So this is the area. I'm gonna try to just shimmy it out of there. This is not easy, y'all. Like really. Maybe this is easier. Paint and not break it. I think I broke one already. I can see. I think I might have broke two. Damn. How do they do this? Maybe every time you go to do this, you have to replace the cap. Because the one area is right here. I don't see how that's gonna pop up. Oh, okay. As you can see, maybe this, I'm gonna shake it and it looks like it might shake out of there. But that's something, it seems like it's gonna, there we go. And look at that. And ta-da, it broke. So I don't know that you can do this without breaking things. So here's the clip number one that snapped from this side. And if we take a look at the working one, that should not have occurred. So maybe you do it the other way. You have to actually start from the inside and then these pieces won't break. The other one here seemingly didn't come up at all. And as you can see, these are older clips than the new one. So I might just have to put the new one on there or just take it to a dealership as they explained and leave it as is. What I might do as a quick fix to not have to deal with any of this is to just throw this semi-held cap on there. It seems like the damn thing should hold with just the one major clip. Honestly, I mean, that's only 1 out of 3. And again, this only makes me wonder further, how the hell would this even hold or be replaced? I guess you'd have to know precisely where these things were at, bring a tool in there and then press them out. I don't know. I guess this only maybe attributes further to why Kia sells this thing at such an expensive rate. And as you can see here, this is the actual plastic that was broken by the accident that occurred. Now mine only has up to 2017, so I stand corrected. This was 14, 15, 16, and 17 years that they apparently were doing this style of cap. Mine, the printed one I have, shows years up to 17. And I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna see what happens now. I'll just do this on camera, why not? It shouldn't take but a second. And then if it breaks, I guess technically I don't really need this cap anymore because the new one should do it. So this is a brand new mirror to my knowledge, or at least one that functions. Hopefully I won't have to get back in here. And again, their plastic is broken here. It seems like that happened for mine as well. And the same kind of goes for their holes. We don't have any plastic even going into those, so no major deal there, I guess. And then the one that will stay intact, hopefully, it's going to be this hole back here, which we didn't take anything out of. I'll go ahead and try and snap this new cap in place. Let's see what we get. This is a little hard to get on camera. Again, now we have a lot of space here. Some things are falling. So that's the old broken one on the side there. And this is the new one. I'm gonna see. So there's really nothing to grab on this edge here, huh? Well, that's not good. I don't think I can do this. Son of a bitch. probably going to lead credence to why they're not giving me a cap attached on here. If I need to color it, they're probably like, hey, we are a card fixer upper guys, we know you have to have this thing painted. And I might just do without for now, and just take a color mismatch until they can fix it, because it's kind of more important to have a window than have a color matching window or mirror. So yeah, like, it's kind of strange. I almost am getting it there. You can probably hear some of the snapping happening. It's like right where it needs to be, but it just does not seem to want to go in the hole exactly right. Which makes me wonder too if this is possibly a different year that the cap won't fit it one-to-one. But maybe it's just that I need to press that big plug in there and we'll be good to go. I'm a little afraid to do that because these edges are not grabbing in any way. I don't really know that it would matter other than water possibly getting down in there. Let's see, why not? Let's give it a chance. So, there we go. And trying to kind of see it as I'm pressing this in now. It is very difficult to see. Oh, I might have it, but boy, did that not feel right. That took a while. And when you're being gentle, it does snap in place with placement caps. This one is already pre-colored, so I mean, if you want to maybe save a little bit of money, if you got a junkyard nearby with the right color of your car, you know, depending on what they're selling things for, hey, you might have a fix here. Now, I can't lie, I'm a little petrified of this in some way. It does sit seamlessly. Like, I don't feel any wiggle. Once that big, beefy, it was actually this plug that I was having a little bit of difficulty getting in there too. But now I really feel like no seams in this thing. If I had to take the cap on and off one more time, it probably wouldn't be good. But I mean, I'll try my best here to cover this in the camera. Let me see if I can actually see if I'm in frame correctly. Of course, it's not showing up now. And I will admit too, this actually feels beefier, which I hate that word somewhat, but it feels like a chunkier, heavier unit than the one I had. I do understand that this one is a surround view. There's a camera on the bottom and things, so maybe that adds to some of the weight. I didn't really need that, but this model was cheaper than consistently how I kept finding units that were broken or mismatched, or apparently they want to post up flagrant and fraudulent posts that didn't have the blind spot detection. So I took a chance and let the seller know, hey, you know, I don't really know that you guys are selling what you post, because as we can clearly see here, I have the unit in my hand now, they didn't quite post so sincerely, because it didn't have, hey, you know, you're gonna have to figure out how to put the unit on yourself, man. You know, I could have broke the unit right there just now trying to fixate it to the back. So hey, good luck on that. But it does seem like everything else is okay. Setting these two units side by side now. I'm gonna try and actually put them next to one another. This damn thing will snap back in. There we go. Hey, maybe that right there was the fix to this thing the whole time. But so now we have both the new and old unit. They look very, very similar. The one difference is that the new one is chrome, or the like deluxe edition, which they actually used like a shinier piano black on things versus the matte black on mine. It seems like I had the only LX with the convenience package in the damn country or something, because I can't seem to find anybody else selling one with the used parts anyway. So I guess I'm the one who's totaled it or whatever. Not totaled it, but nobody's totaling these apparently. So there's the new one. Again, it looks like everything else fits to it pretty well. So I'm gonna go give this thing a shot, plug it in, hopefully get a working unit, because that will be the last killer piece of this, obviously. If I go to attach it and it just does not work. If that does not happen to work, then this is absolutely going back. But in the meantime, hopefully we have a working fix for this. And now you can kind of get some good illustrations here. And I'll take a second to show that. So again, hopefully that wasn't too bad. This is what a Kia with a blind spot detection, Kia Sedona. And I imagine, again, this is similar probably from many of their units. I didn't look a ton because I was looking for the Sedona, but I imagine that the Sorento and many other units that they have are going to have a similar design idea. They're probably not going to make them all specific to and unique. They're probably going to build them very similar. So as you can see here, it looks like the one that I still can't get this thing out even without the damn unit, or without the cap on here. This one is an essential piece right here. So if any kind of damage probably happens to your cap in this area, good luck. You're probably not going to be able to really get that to be reused. There's another plug right here, so that makes number 2. There's a plug over here. This seems to be the only one I'm handling on, and probably the only quintessential cap, or maybe if a cap plug, I guess we'll call them. But maybe if you're plugging over here or right here with this one that I can't seem to get out, if that's still attached to your cap, maybe it'll hold on pretty well. And then this corner unit broke on mine. When I went to go remove it, I was as gentle as I could possibly be, and it looks like really this hook is thin. It's a very thin plastic there. This is an aged window too, so maybe when Kia was first designing them, hey, that holds super well. But then over time it breaks with age. My car is 2017, it's 2023, so about 7 years out. And then this one's gonna be hard to show, but it actually did hold up well. The plastic is very thin there, but that is another spot I do recall. So when you go to actually take off your mirror and the cap of it, try to consider these things. So you got plug here, plug here, plug here, plug here, and then a couple of trim plugs. And well, that's what we'll call them, trim plugs. Maybe there's a better name out there, and if I ever become a mechanic, I'll pay attention to that. So watch this outer rim, and then these couple plugs or caps that will plug into your mirror right here. So hopefully that helps anybody who's looking for that information. Hey, I haven't done a ton of videos, so hopefully you like what you see. Maybe I'll have some new info. I don't really have a super hardcore idea of what I'll be putting on my page, but hey, little by little, maybe this gets you some new info. Thanks.